and outright. And so we saw 9 out of Breadman. We know there's at least 13 here with Joe. I'm not sure what their total is, but let's swing over to another one of those heavy hitting teams. Tommy, Noobs, and Almond. No surprise to see that they all have self revives. Again, we've talked about the wealth of cash on Caldera. It's very easy to be able to afford things like self revives when it wasn't quite so guaranteed here in Verdansk. And they catch a team out, take out Bartologist. Almond with the team wipe. Tag and additional teams trying to scurry away through the rocks, but when you're getting hunted down by this trio, Godspeed to you and yours, because you're probably about to have a very bad time. 9 teams now remaining, 16 total players, and this final circle looks like it may be in the hills, but relatively out in the open. Maybe not a ton of buildings to work with, as another down here for Tommy.
Yeah, and this is where having the zone to your back actually plays in your favor, because you can use that as cover. And here comes Tommy. The PPSH is so good, and it's one of the staples we've seen so far, but you're going to have to work it to perfection if you want to close out this game. 6 elims right now and plenty of plates, but on the other side, I mean, Almond a little bit weak. He does have a self-revive just in case, but he got a couple of pings now ringing out, and, well, this should be more free kills for Tommy as he moves towards Riverside. Again, zone to your back, you can play this third party and gatekeep, and that is essentially what they're aiming for. So far, it looks like it's working out. You should get another one right here, potentially the crack, all white for the moment. Can't get the blue shields, but it doesn't matter. The automaton will clean up anything, and it looks like Tommy might get another one on the board.
Yeah, if there's one thing I've noticed so far about these Vanguard weapons, they are not nearly as forgiving at range as Verdansk, MW, and Cold War weapons are. There's definitely going to be a bit more recoil. It's going to be a bit trickier to hit your shots. It's not like you have kind of the tried and true. I don't know what Tommy is upset about, but clearly it's something. But when you look at teams like this, Spaceman, we've touched on it a little bit, but I'd love your thoughts. Noobs, Tommy, and Almond, they've played a lot together. They win tournaments together. How important is that communication, is that team synergy when you're in custom games like this?
I mean, it's huge, because having the confidence in your teammates to make the play is kind of the biggest factor. Like, whether or not you designate Tommy as kind of the in-game leader, when you trust your teammates to make the right calls, whether you're down or whether they're down, that's what it comes down to. Being able to traverse the map without really saying much, and then when you're in the heat of the battle, heat of the gunfight, you know what play to make, you know where your teammates are going to be. Being able to read through the kills with your teammates, it really does come down to practice and reps and communication and chemistry, and that cannot be overlooked. As unfortunately, I think Breadman will go down, and we'll get a quick check from the admins to make sure everything's okay. But, you know, it's... To answer your question very bluntly, yeah, having chemistry with your teammates is massive, and that's why they've been so successful and so consistent in the Warzone gameplay. This is a
1v1, which I think Almond's about to take right into the storm.
Like, what are we seeing, bro?
Cool, but you know, second to 15th is that 1.6 in multiplier. So you're already, no matter what placing at this point that you get, you're guaranteed that 1.6. So exactly what you said. Play ratty, secure some of those kills that you know that you can get safely. And, well, another team all on their own. Poor Reed. He does have a nice amount of kills, actually. So many solos here. 7 teams, 12 players. But that's what you got to do. Just hide behind these rocks. Play patient. Try and kill someone on a rotation. Try and third party these teams to get those kills. And that's one of the nice things about customs, is that it does force these players to do a little bit more of those ratty plays that they might not necessarily do in like a kill race. I like watching them do what they hate most. They hate camping. They hate being the sneaky person in the bush. And now you have to be exactly that. Jobo just kind of riding around the edge of the storm, looking for any stragglers pushing in, not able to find anyone just yet. But again, there's just so much coverage from these trees. He'll try and work his way toward the buy station, but not really a lot you can buy. You can't even get plates. You're about $300 short, and there's no satchel, so you would only been able to get 1 extra anyway. But oh my god, look at that. 1 broken, doesn't connect with anything else because you have no more ammo. So actually, I don't think I would have taken that gunfight, Spaceman, because all you did was crack armor. You didn't have enough sniper shots to be able to kill them, and now they are all flying at you. You are getting naded from every direction. You don't have enough money for those plates that would have been very useful now. And they know exactly where you are.
You think it goes that far?
Yeah, maybe you try to get a little bit sneaky BV and try to get behind him. Unfortunately, you can't line up a collide headshot. I've tried it. It doesn't really work in that situation.
For the assassination is all I'm saying.
Yeah, just make it interesting, man. Like, if it's a 1v3, just get a little bit creative. However, we've seen a lot of players by themselves. That's the interesting part of the end zone, where it's basically been one-on-ones on one-on-ones. And with this, when a lot of squads being wiped, you're going to have to play uphill at this point. So Joel still alive somehow. He's able to get 1, potentially put more on the board, and that'll be 6 elims for him. I don't know how he's still alive in the situation. I would have thought he got scouted out and pushed as a group of 3, but Joel now trying to play up the ridgeline, and he'll try to get uphill as quickly as possible. The longer you stay out in the open, the more you're going to get hunted. There's one more. Is this the team of 3 that was scouting him? Joel gets 2.
Joe is on fire, not to mention the fact that he's just running out in the open with wild abandon. He is getting team wipes. He's up to 8 kills now. Joe now in a 1v2. He catches one out, gets the down, a 1v1. Can he finish it up? He goes for the kill, a smart play always, but now 1 in the smoke. He initially got tags out. He does have a frag grenade to use. Sometimes you can forget about those utility, but it doesn't matter. Unfortunately, through the smoke, he gets pushed. I would have liked to see him try and cook that nade, but it's Grease coming out on top. But Joe, what a phenomenal job from him in that solo position to rack up as many. A lot of duos, maybe some solos. This one of the few trios remaining, but it's always that storm that seems to be the consistent theme in Caldera. Spaceman, is you always have to be careful of the storm. Breaks the armor Huskers, but he just scrambles away in time to not get downed. I thought that final bullet might catch him, but some good shots here from Huskers. You got to be careful, though. You got an ammo crate. I'm sure at this point you might be hoping that you had a plate box to work with, but they're doing a good job of spacing things out here, and another smoke to be able to give them a little bit of safety as they try and move on over, group together, and take a far left push around this circle. Because look, this is tough, right? You can't go right. There's players who have height advantage over you. Where do you go if it's left? You're completely exposed and out in the open. And hey, he's got smokes for days from that ammo crate, and you find one out. Nice job to take out Crowder as we get into the final 9, but Scum and Falls, Unrational Falls, Husker all on his own in a cold concrete slab. And well, this is a nice position though, because you're forced to move out from the storm. If he can get the down onto Hisoka, he does. Can you get the team wipe? A beautiful job. Huskers in a great spot here, moves over to the crates. He's playing this very well. I'm getting a lot of Joe vibes here out of how Husker's been playing this.
Yeah, you can't smoke the whole beach, but if you got a gunny, you could smoke the whole beach. We'll let that one rock for a little bit. As a frag is going to get thrown out, we'll see if it connects with anything. And a sub in hand, just in case things get a little bit dicey. On the opposite side, though, it will come down to a couple of key gunfights. And will Magnificent and company be able to clutch this one up? Huskers were doing damage on the other side of the field, but with that zone closing in, it's going to come down to an open fight. And you're basically playing wall to wall at that point. Not quite moving up on the rocks. I know it's a little bit treacherous. It's the same thing as Verdansk. It's okay. We won't hold it against you. But how do you play this if you're Huskers on the other end? I mean, how do you even approach this fight?
You hope that the 3v2 happens and you can just third party clean someone up. And now, unfortunately, I think that might have been Huskers falling, because now it's a 3v2. So just maybe a tough moment for him. But they have an idea of where this team is. Just waiting to see the circle push. It's pulling in an optimal direction for both of these teams. You saw one slide behind the rock. Now Iron just looking, gets some shots in, only has 2 plates left. Can he get a connection with any of these shots? Looking through the storm, the visibility is so low. Who's going to get pushed out into the open first? His team flies out. You get a nice down through the smoke. The kill is confirmed. The Warzone victory comes in. And Iron, I was worried for just a minute, but no need to be in. You do have some loot up top if you're in dire straits and you need to grab some ammo, maybe some more plates. But I like this. You have the barricade up, trying to just reduce the amount of pushes into the little burrow. I don't know, what would you call it? What would you call this, Spaceman? I know there's a technical term for it. I know there's
a tiny little hut, little awning, little
something. Chat, help us out.
That
I know
thing.
There's like a technical, a bunker.
Come on, Crowder. You
Okay.
saw that in Hawaii. Like it's where people go on vacation. They got keep yourself out of the sun. He probably knows. I don't go on vacation. I don't know what that is.
It's a bunker. There we go.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Chad. That's why. Love you guys. You're very helpful. And Joe, well, the storm gonna help them out potentially here. I don't think they'll be quite in the circle in this trench. They might be forced to scoot up, but they won't have to move very far as we get into the final 10 players. Iron, you won the last game. Can you win this one? No. You will be in the 1.6 multiplier, so that'll be at least some comfort. But Joe, the barricade goes beyond it and gets punished. Taken out. Now Hisoka all on his own, seeing who he can find. The team that had a bit of an oopsie here in Custom Game 2, using a banned weapon. We're in first place, no longer. Can you make up for it with another strong game here? The answer to that is no. We are down to the final 5 players. Z-Color's doing what he can. Knows someone is up top. Will have to be pushed off the building here in a moment, but the shots come out. The positioning there and the gas mask can be so dangerous. It's so hard to see in this smog, in this gas. And, well, he'll jump here underneath. And what a wild ending zone this is.
He's got a wall he could deploy. I mean, you use it for cover the same way you'd use the gas mask in the zone to wait to move in. But situations like this, it's up to Flanked and Desmond. Again, Desmond, who's someone who ran with Destroy for a while, but here comes Flanked right up the gut, and he gets absolutely burned from the trench. I don't know if that was Z-Colors who took him down, but it doesn't even matter at this point. Z-Colors on the flank behind, gets one more down the crack. Potentially elimination. He will find it. Now only one left alive. He loses the 1v1. He can't get the self-revive, and that should be the game, as it was Fees who moved through the trench and just cut him down as quickly as he was getting in position. It will be.
Not
this is
gonna be
tough.
fun. No, yeah, you're gonna
might have to
die
move.
here.
Yeah, you might have to move.
Die.
Well, you know.
If
Yeah.
I were him at that point, I'd rather just die to the storm and deny them the kill than try and peek, because you're not gonna make it out of there alive. But he will fall. The kill will go their way. Gangsta's team. Look at this. What a great regain out of them. All alive now with plates, with self-revives. Talk about a glow up from where we saw them last.
Just like what we saw with Slacked and Apathy, they're always on kind of the edge of the action. Now it's just about moving in and rotating from the back of the zone. And again, Zone 6 is now locked in about under 30 seconds until we move to the next one. It's not a big zone, folks. You're going to have to make some ground. And not only that, make some quick decisions, because you have teams all around. There's still 12 teams up. Or 12 players, excuse me, up, and there's only 5 teams left. So without Loto dropping in, certainly, you know, you could try to play around and try to bait people into your sights, but you better hope that Breadman has some of his best snipes of today if he wants to lock these in, if they want to get this first place finish.
Yeah, and we have at least, and well, Tommy continuing to get kills. Look at that, 12 for them, just pushing their way toward first place. We knew there was at least 3 full teams, maybe no longer the case. Breadman still just watching over with that sniper, but Tommy's team pushing up toward their positioning, actually might get a nice flank onto them if he's fast enough. If someone's not paying attention, he might push up right behind them. That's exactly what he's about to do. Will they realize it? He uses the speed boost, flies toward them, and that'll be one that he catches out. That'll be 2, and almost the fight comes in, but he gets the snap, a little slap and tickle here around the rocks, but the flank pays off for Tommy. 2 kills. Almond will fall, but it does not matter. You are now in a 2v3. That ×2 multiplier could be what they need to get back into the potential money, but they know where Tommy is.
Not only
Can
that,
he steal that snipe? What can he do with it?
I mean, they know where the zone's coming to. It's just, how do you get around? You're going to basically have to boost. Can he get behind the house? Oh, he's trying to self-revive, but he can't. And it's left up to Noobs. He's the only one alive. It's a 3v1. I mean, this is the game here. You should be able to win this 99 times out of 99. You know where he's out on the rock side? The zone is your friend at this point. The only where he goes is towards, like, the house, and at that point, you just need it. You fly in, take the 3v1, but he's getting shot from the back. It's Noobs who works his way behind, and Attach has to recognize that maybe there's extra pressure on the opposite side, but I don't know if they quite yet know where Noobs was. There's no way Noobs pulls this off, is there?
I mean, hey, anything can happen. It's
Oh my
certainly
God.
Noobs, and that's why you say it. Attach able to break the armor. Noobs still alive in the house. He gets a couple more tags. He tries to throw out a tactical. Does not connect with Attach, but it doesn't matter. Attach with the pre-aim. Noobs nowhere to go. We've seen it so many times. Just the brush, the foliage provides really nice cover for teams, but a frustration for others who are trying to connect. Foreign Jace, however, gets a kill on a 10 spree. So Brolic, while he only has 1, your teammate has 10, and you're all still alive, and he tries to do the 360 to connect. Can't exactly find who he's looking at. That's Sage who takes him out. And Iron there to get a kill of his own. Poor Brolic, though. You could tell just trying to wildly look around to hope to get that trick shot to make something happen, but just not able to find him.
I love how he guns him and he's just like, rip. Like, yeah, that's the kind of confidence I need in my shot as well. You have the loadout drop to your left, a couple of vehicles for potential cover. But this is where you use the ridge line to really keep yourself out of harm's way. You can slowly rotate through the back zone. No one will be pushing you from behind. Destroy, again, the last one alive. And like we talked about earlier, he's so good at staying alive in the long haul. But can he play spoiler? Can he third party? Can he get in a position to ruin someone's day, let alone take some players out of standings? it could be possible as he tries to work his way through the edge. But here comes the zone as it starts to move in. You're going to have to make a lot of ground. You're going to have to cover a lot of ground, excuse me. And left up the Sage and Hisoka, who have been lights out in the end of this round. They have been unreal. Can they clutch up?
Okay, oh no. See, I almost said it. I might have just jinxed him. He uses that stim, trying to find a little bit of cover behind this downed log. Doesn't have any plates again, and just not able to make it happen. That's another kill for Sage. And look at them. At 8 kills, just 3 teams. 2v5 for this pair. And they have some pushing him from the storm. You gotta be careful though. Uses that stim and he flies around the corner, gets the armor broken, but not able to get the kill. The trade from Hisoka comes through. Can he survive for how long? Apathy watching that kill cam. A 1v2. A 1v2 here. The team that's been in duos the entire time breaks some armor, throws out the nade, trying to secure himself a down, won't be able to connect. Flies around onto the street, and there you go. 1 down, 1 more. That's 4 and J, so 1v1 for double digits for the 2-man victory. You know he's somewhere right in front of you, and while the circle's pulling your way, and you spot him out. None other than Exact. Exact here.
Yeah.
And Hisoka in a 1v1. You are being pushed into this player. You will have a little bit of this rock for cover, but the storm is at your back. The storm is not pulling the way you need, but I love this. Cook that grenade. Try and get a tag in. Can he connect? No. Back and forth here, but you have the mask. He has a mask to work with. He can do this. It depends on what side he flies around this rock. But Hisoka, he predicts the right side push. The team that has been a duo in a trios custom with the best in the world. Get it